Hey guys, what's up? Did you ever wonder about where to inject your GLP-1 medication and what the benefits will be on the location as well as what the side effects could be? Well, today I am going to break down what the research says, what my personal experience is, and where to inject to have the maximum results for weight loss, as well as to get the most minimal amount of side effects. Before we get started, please remember to like the video and subscribe so you always know when the next video is coming out. Thank you so much. If you are new to the channel, I am Jules. I have lost 50 pounds and I've been maintaining for about 2 years. So I have been on a GLP-1, Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound, and compounding. I've been on them all, and I've been on them since September of 2022. So it's been a long time. I've experimented with different sites on my body for me personally. But let me tell you about the research. So there was a 2023 study that actually looked at the different sites and their effectiveness for weight loss. They took a fairly small sample size, I believe it was about 56 people, which is on the smaller size, but they broke them down into different groups and they had them inject the 3 different sites, right? So you can inject into your abdomen, your thigh, or the back of the arm, right? Those are the 3 areas that is recommended to rotate around. And I'm sure that you've heard of people saying, you know, one site's better than another, and I had really bad side effects on this particular site. So they did this study and they gave them 5 milligrams of tirzepatide, and they did that. And then in between the shots, they gave them 35 days in between because the half-life of tirzepatide is 5 days. So in order to completely get it out of your system, it has to be a minimum of 20 days between shots. So at 20 days, it's out of your system. They gave them 35 days. So at that point, they're basically starting over again. And they rotated them around and they gave it to them in their abdomen and then in their thigh and then in the back of the arm. And what they found was there was minimal difference, small percentage. The abdomen and the back of the arm were slightly higher than the thigh, but only by like 2 or 3%. So it's not like it made a huge difference in the weight loss. Now, when it came to the side effects, that actually did make a difference. People did have more negative side effects in the abdomen than they did in the arm or the leg. And the reason that the abdomen, the arm, and so forth were, they had a higher absorbency into the bloodstream than the thigh had. So there was more positive weight loss, but for some people there was this negative side effect as well. But again, was it clinically significant? Not really. It literally was like a few percentages. However, anecdotally, you will hear people say, oh my God, when I switched sites, it broke my stall. I don't know. Does that work? Maybe. Sometimes you just have to try it out and you have to see if it works for you. When I got started on the journey, I thought I had to rotate everything. This is back in 2022. There wasn't a lot of information out there. So I actually started in my abdomen and I did get effects right away. And then when I tried my thigh, because I thought you were supposed to do that, and I got nothing. I felt like water. I got no negative side effects. I got no positive side effects. I didn't get appetite suppression. Nothing. It was like I couldn't wait for the next week for my next injection. When I ran into a stall, I said, oh, I'm going to try my arm and see if that breaks the stall. I heard other people say it works. did the back of my arm on my left, tried another week on my right. Again, I personally got nothing from it at all. It felt like I was injecting water. So pretty much I tried everything and I went back to my abdomen, and I've been doing it ever since. So that is the only spot that I have personally injected and gotten a good result. Now, my negative side effects were super minimal. Fatigue was really the biggest one. There were, the day after I would inject, I would get pretty tired. Again, that went away after a while, but very, very minimal nausea. I mean, not even to the point where it affected me at all. And if I did get it, I was like, yay, it's working. I feel it. I feel something different. Never got in the way of me eating either. I always had an appetite. It definitely suppressed my appetite, but I've always had an appetite and I could always eat. So for me, the abdomen was definitely the spot. And to me, I felt like that was my sweet spot, and that's where I'm staying. Now, I rotate around my abdomen. I don't do it in the same spot because the reason why they want you to rotate is because they don't want you to get scar tissue. So, and the other thing with the abdomen, for the ladies, you have to be careful if you have stretch marks there, because you don't want to inject in there. It may not get absorbed. The whole point is that your skin and your body fat are the transportation system into the bloodstream. So that's, making sure you have a little bit of fat, and I mean, we all have a little bit of fat there, and you want to make sure that there's no stretch mark that you're putting it into. I think once you found your sweet spot and it's working, there's no reason to move it. If your arm is your sweet spot, maybe flip between the different arms, but there's no reason that you have to go to your thigh or a different part of you if you don't want to. Maybe your thigh is your sweet spot and stick to that. Or conversely, if you're using your abdomen and you're getting a lot of negative symptoms and the nausea is off the charts, well, at that point, you probably want to switch sites. You want to go to your thigh, because one of the number one reasons why people stop taking a GLP-1 is because they can't handle the negative side effects. It becomes too much for them. So it's okay to have a little bit that's manageable. You want to be able to manage those negative side effects. So that might be a reason then to go to your thigh or your arm. But I think once you found that sweet spot and it's working for you, no reason to change it at all. So in conclusion, the research says it really almost doesn't matter where you inject it, but I think that personal experience is very important, and you need to personally have that experience with yourself and see how you feel, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the research says. It matters how it makes you feel and what the results are that you're seeing from the injection sites. So please use that as your takeaway. And I hope that you like this video, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Stay strong.